This is a Hot Pie Media original.
I sound like an old guy saying this. It's not the intent. We live in this cluttered media world now. So it's hard to remember ads. I want you to think in these terms, okay? It's hard to remember ads. Plus, media is now so fragmented, and that's not a bad thing, by the way. We just don't see the same ads together because we have different media interests. So you've been segmented. Media segmented along with you. And the ads have been segmented. There's a point for me saying this. If you're above the age of, I'm going to say 30, 35, if you're above that age, think in terms of ads in your lifetime that have mattered. And I guarantee you, if you sat down and said, what do I remember? There's not going to be very many of them in the last 10 years. And that doesn't mean that advertising doesn't work. It does, very much so. But in terms of your memory collectively, you would struggle. So 4 o'clock in the morning, 5, whatever, I just sit there staring outside. I'm reading this, and there's all sorts of lists. And I'm obviously not just a student of advertising, but have taught the class. I'm a big fan of the research. I'm a big fan of the data, and I'm a huge fan of old ads. In my opinion, the most creative, compelling, and I think honestly brilliant commercial, in my opinion, is how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? I can't think of another ad that compels you more than that one. I think it would still work today. I think it is so effective. That's me nerding out. So I'm a student of the whole thing, of the not just the creation, the strategy of the ads. That's a long build up to. So I don't know if this was the Ad Council. I'm not sure what organization did this, but I'm stumbling around and I find the list of the best, and of course it's debatable. I get that. I already told you what I think is the most compelling. That's the word I use. Not the best, most compelling ad of all time is the cartoonish owl licking to ask how many licks to the center of the Tootsie Pop. But this is the list of the best TV commercials of all time. I think the most recent one would be, I think it's around 2003. That should tell you something. But you'll appreciate some of these. Even if you don't know them, the strategic effectiveness of them, I think, should stand with you. Okay, so I think we pulled up some of these. The first one, they claim the best TV commercial of all time is Alka-Seltzer's I Can't Believe I Ate the Whole Thing.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
You ate it, Ralph.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
No, Ralph, I ate it.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
Take 2 Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer neutralizes all the acid your stomach has churned out. For your upset stomach and headache, take Alka-Seltzer and feel better fast.
Did you drink your Alka-Seltzer?
The whole thing.
There you go. All right, you can debate if that's the most effective ad. Best ad of all time. I'm not a big fan of mushy storytelling. Number 2 was Coca-Cola. I think Coca-Cola had 3 of the top 5 in this list. Coca-Cola's Mean Joe Green commercial, which there's a documentary about the commercial, which is pretty entertaining by itself. Joe Green was a great defensive lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers, from Texas, by the way. Mid to late 70s, the Mean Joe Green commercial.
Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help?
Mm-mm.
Want my Coke?
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay. Thanks.
That's the way it should be. I like to see.
See you around.
The whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola has life. Have a Coke in it.
Wow, thanks, Mean Joe.
Remember jingles? Jingles used to matter. You grew up with jingles. Number 3 was the Keep America Beautiful. That was Iron Eyes. Remember that when they threw the trash? I don't even think there's any audio to it. Throw the trash. And he hits him in the feet and he cries. He's canoeing through all the trash. was really compelling. I don't know if you could pull that off today. I don't know if you wouldn't get some blowback on the stereotype. All right, he was iron eyes and he cries at the trash. Number 4.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect.
Yeah. Pretty dramatic. Number 4, if you're above the age of 30, you knew this. Mikey was played by John Gilchrist. He died from a combination, I don't know. I don't want to know the story about Mikey. This is Life cereal. Mikey likes it. That's number 4.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. I'm not gonna try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Regular, cinnamon, and raisin life. Nutritious, delicious.
Yeah. Brilliant. Number 5 would be 1999 Budweiser's What's Up?
Hello? Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. What's up? What's up? Yo, who's that? Yo, pick up the phone. Hello? What's that? What's up? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie.
Yo.
What's that?
With that.
Hold on. Hello? So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud.
Yeah, it's cool. Don't ever underestimate the science because this is targeting dudes laying around watching football. That's it. So you got to come up with a creative way for dudes who care about 2 things. Price. Dudes. There you go. It was a creative, brilliant way to get them when you walk into the store. Remember, young dudes, they're not making that decision based on quality, taste, all that stuff. This is not craft beer time. This is what's on the shelf and what's up. John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce in all 50 states, now in several retail outlets as well. So we're going to turn it over to the social media rock chef superstar, and we're going to walk through a few sauces and why you should buy. We've done beet heat. So we're second in line now for the tasting. Don't forget, everyone, go to atxhotsauce.com. So here we go.
All right. So this one is our smoked habanero 5-pepper. We smoke habaneros with ancho,
Is that going to hurt?
This one? No,
Yeah.
This one's actually really, really good.
Okay.
This is like your traditional tapatía, but without the vinegar in it, right? And because of that fermentation process that we've talked about all the time. This one is great on sandwiches, pizzas, things like that. Great on hot wings. I think you're going to really like this one too, especially the smoky flavor with the adobe chipotle and the smoked habaneros. We actually smoked the habaneros before we.
Does that go with the cab?
This would not go with the cab. This would go with the great Chenin Blanc, though.
I knew you were gonna. I teed you up with that one.
Yeah.
That is good. That's good.
Isn't that good? It's just classic take. Well, it's a new take on a classic item. So it's called smoked habanero 5-pepper.
All right, don't forget
One of my
ATX.
favorites.
Don't forget atxhotsauce.com. I don't remember the M&M's fainting Santa. I tell you what's good. Number 8 on the list. This is that if you're above the age of 35. This would have been 1980. This goes to show you how a company that was in a good spot, its advertising was working for it. They went from this, I think she may have died. So they went from this to Dave Thomas of Wendy's. But the Wendy's Where's the Beef ad campaign was rock star status.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy. bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
They went on, and they used her, and they milked Clara, I believe her name was. Their strategy to it. I mean, their whole position was you're going to get more beef. Then when they disappeared from her, they went to like Dave. Was it the guy, Dave, or whatever? All right. I could do this for hours and days. There was this whole period where I guess it would have been early 70s or 60s where it was home products being sold by women was kind of interesting. It was this whole, it went on. I don't know that you could pull it off today. But the ad that, and I'm trying to find where it fits on the list. You go past Mr. Sharman. I think it's like number 12 out of their 20 that they selected. And if you've listened to me for any time, I may have mentioned this before, certainly during Super Bowl time. The ad, if you think about in your lifetime, the most memorable ad, and again, none of them probably are in the last 5 to 10 years, but the most memorable ad that had the greatest recall of any ad ever tested. And so once the ads, researchers do this is what you're paid to do. They go back and they're testing not just whether you recall the ad, but what exactly you recalled from the ad and what was the selling proposition to you about the ad. So all this research goes into how did it work? How well did it do? The ad that tested most effectively, that people said that they saw the ad on average 6 times. 6 times. It only ran once. And it is scientifically the most recalled ad of all time. Oh, that's Apple. The Macintosh. Okay, so remember, she's running. I believe this is the anniversary of Apple going public, by the way.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the information purification directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Our unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
It's pretty hilarious now to think, wow, that was a rebellious little company that was trying to just cut through the clutter. That was trying to take on the giant. The whole point was to take on IBM. I went for it. Put your little disc in that toaster looking thing with a screen about 4 inches. Remember how cool we were? I mean, that was it. So to think Apple of today was that, having to have an ad campaign, they were disruptors, total antagonists at the time. And that was the point of the campaign, which was scientifically the most recalled, from what I know, the most recalled ad of all time. Went during the Super Bowl, played once. They went for it. And you know the history of Apple, of course, it worked. Then, oh boy, cratered. Then he came back, Steve Jobs, and the rest is, business history. So there's that whole list. I mean, I think we dug up 20 of them that are pretty remarkable. And nowhere that I found on the list was what I think is the best of all time. There's 2 that I think are the best of all time in terms of effectiveness. There's the how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? And then there is the Craftsman lock. I think it's Craftsman? That deadbolt lock where the bullet hits it. That ad's only ad they ever created. was that bullet. They ran it for years during the Super Bowl. The bullet hits it and it just stays in place. It's just a visual of the ad, not of the lock not breaking. I think that's brilliance too. Effective brilliance, not just creative brilliance. All right, so there it is. Check them out. I think this is the week that Apple first went public. So when you watch that ad, it's pretty comical to think, oh, they were once disruptors? You mean that stock was once at single digits? Yeah, and they once fired their boss.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios in Austin, Texas, it's the Jeff Ward Show. Listen at jeffwardshow.com.